This is an example of what you can do with a flight simulator. I've got about 50 or 60 hours of log time in small engine, single engine airplanes. But I've never flown a high performance Tucano like this. It's a turbine. Now what I'm doing is I'm landing in this valley in Switzerland, and I'm coming in on a right downwind. Got to slow myself really far down because this thing is going really fast right now, 280 knots. So I'm going to go all the way back on the throttle. Okay, 275 knots. When it gets below 200 knots, I'm going to drop the gear. Okay, pitch up a little bit to keep that speed down. Now I'm going down this valley here along the sides to give myself plenty of room to make the turn into base and final. Now I got 200 knots. Gear goes down, that increases the drag. Still dropping that speed. The idea is to get control of the aircraft. You got to know exactly what you're doing here. What's the plan? Okay, now I'm going to use this valley to do a wide bank and come in on final. Okay, 180 knots. Okay, I'm beyond the runway numbers. Going with 1 flaps. Keep a nice control, 175 knots. Pitch up just a little bit, dropping it down. We go to 150 knots. There we go. Second degree flaps. Now, there's my field. Okay, so drop it down. Okay, now I got the speed good, about 130 knots. Okay, I'm going to go to full flaps and add just a tad bit of power so I get some control out of this now. 130 knots, I can land at that. I'm going to try to get it down to 100 or 110 for this short runway. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to coast in. I got good power, good control, a little bit of buffeting. Okay, I got to drop some altitude, full flaps. It's going to be, I got to slip it in. So I got to drop it in. Okay, here we go. Okay, now we go. 120 knots. Okay, runway is basically made. Come on, all the way down. Whoa, I got a crosswind. Okay, got it in. Whoa, okay, come on, come on. Whoa, okay. Alright. Beautiful landing. See? All that I've learned on a flight simulator, and I can practice all kinds of situations. Okay, we're going to do an instant replay of this for a couple of minutes here, and watch it from a different perspective here. Now I'm coming in. Got a little bit of fog here in these mountains. Starting the bank. A lot of flying is just about seat of the pants because you have to mentally calculate your position in 3 dimensions, and that requires a certain aptitude here of space perception, because you have things working against you. You got the wind, atmospheric conditions, performance of the aircraft, and you have to take all that into account. Now they say, I guess, computers can do all this in pilotless aircraft, but there are certain situations that really do require a special approach, especially in mountains and difficult weather conditions. Okay, here we come in now, see? Doing constant corrections for the crosswind. Coming in really low. It's a military aircraft. It's very maneuverable. It's designed for this type of activity. I'm going to do a touch and go here. Track gear. I'm going to demonstrate some aerobatics here. Okay, I'm going to roll over. Okay, we're coming over. There we go. Drop the speed. We don't want to. We want the longer of the two runways. Runway 25. Okay, we did that now. Okay, now we got 220 knots, and we want to settle down, do a final landing here, because we're on coast here at this point. Drop the gear. It's not going to be a formal landing, but we're going to do a 180. Right now 130 knots and still going down. Okay. Coming around, give it just a hair more power, because we're going to dive right now. Give it a bit more power. Okay, here we go. Turn on a dime. Okay. Laps. .136 knots. Oh yeah, we got a crosswind from the right this time. We should land, actually, we should land on the other runway here. Get the best of the wind here. Let's see if we can do that here. Give it a bit more throttle. Okay. 138 knots. Okay, coming in. Oh, give it a bit more power. Come on, steer in. Come on, guy. Right in there. Come on in. Come on. Okay, we got lights. The wind's better this way, and we got a good landing here. Sure. Okay, we did it.